Henry Alden has lived alone for years in a dusty, antique-filled clock shop. The walls tick with reminders of a life he lost. His wife died of cancer, and his estranged son moved away after a bitter argument. Time feels frozen. One rainy afternoon, Rosie, a quiet 13-year-old girl with tear-streaked cheeks, stumbles into the shop. She's clutching a broken pocket watch, the only thing she has left of her late grandfather. Henry tries to send her away, but something about her eyes and the watch stops him. Rosie returns again and again, watching Henry work on the watch. She's grieving, angry at the world, and hiding from a troubled home. Henry sees himself in her, lost, stubborn, afraid to feel. In repairing the watch, Henry begins telling stories about time, forgiveness, and the way clocks are a metaphor for people. They break, they rust, but they can be mended. Each session becomes therapy for both of them. Henry reveals more about his past. His son, Danny, left after a fight the night of his mother's funeral. Henry hasn't spoken to him in 18 years. Rosie, in turn, admits her mother left her and her alcoholic stepfather behind. The watch, her grandfather's, was the only person who ever made her feel loved. They begin to share letters, one Henry writes, but never sends to Danny, and one Rosie writes to her absent mom. The day comes when the watch finally ticks again, a small miracle. Rosie cries. Henry smiles for the first time in years, but Rosie's stepfather finds out where she's been going and forbids her from returning. She leaves a note on the counter. "Thank you for fixing the watch, and me. I wish time could stop here forever." Henry is crushed. The shop goes silent again. Determined not to make the same mistake again, Henry finally mails the letter he wrote to Danny. Weeks pass. Then, one afternoon, the door chimes. It's Danny, now a father himself, holding the hand of a little girl. And behind them walks Rosie, who had run away and been taken in temporarily by a local foster system, but remembered where hope began. The shop becomes alive again. Henry teaches both Rosie and his granddaughter how to repair clocks. The walls tick, not with sorrow, but with life. Danny forgives, Rosie heals, and Henry at last finds peace. The clockmaker, once trapped in time, now sees every second as a chance to love, not regret. In a quiet American town that time seems to have forgotten, Henry Alden, a 72-year-old clockmaker, lives alone above his dusty little shop, Alden Timepieces. He wakes up each day at 7:30 a.m., shuffles down to his store, and winds the same clocks he's been winding for 40 years. Old clocks tick from every corner, grandfather clocks, cuckoo clocks, mantel clocks, all chiming at different intervals, creating a constant background hum. But beneath the rhythm of time lies emptiness. His wife Martha passed away 15 years ago from cancer. His only son Danny left the night of the funeral after a terrible argument. Henry hasn't seen or spoken to him since. People say time heals all wounds, but they forget that sometimes time is the wound. One rainy afternoon, a drenched 13-year-old girl named Rosie Clark pushes open the shop door. She's quiet, soaking wet, and clutching a broken gold pocket watch, the only thing left from her late grandfather. Rosie doesn't say much, just asks if he can fix it. Henry gruffly refuses at first, but something in her voice makes him reconsider. He agrees to take a look, warning her it might take time. She nods silently and leaves. That night, Henry opens the watch. Inside is a photo of Rosie as a baby and her grandfather holding her, smiling. Rosie starts visiting the shop regularly after school. She doesn't speak much at first, but Henry notices her bruised arms and worn-out clothes. Something isn't right at home. Over time, Henry opens up, telling her how clocks remind him of people. Fragile, unique, sometimes needing to be taken apart to be understood. Rosie listens. Slowly, she starts talking. Her mother left her. Her stepfather drinks and forgets to pick her up. The watch belonged to her grandfather, the only person who made her feel safe. Together, they begin restoring the watch and building trust. Henry reveals he writes letters to his son, Danny, hundreds of them, but never mails them. He keeps them in a box beneath the workbench. He reads one aloud to Rosie. She's moved. Rosie decides to write a letter to her mother, even if she never sends it. One night, Henry gives Rosie a gift, her grandfather's repaired pocket watch, now ticking softly. She cries and hugs him. For a moment, she calls him Grandpa Henry. 1 week later, Rosie doesn't come. Then 2, then 3. Henry grows anxious. He checks the streets, the park, even the school, but she's gone. No one knows where she is. Heartbroken, Henry retreats into himself again. The clocks chime alone. He rereads Rosie's final letter, left under the bench. "Thank you for fixing the watch and fixing me too." Haunted by regret, Henry takes one of his old letters to Danny and mails it. A week passes, then 2. One morning, the shop bell rings. It's Danny, now 40, holding hands with his 5-year-old daughter. Behind them walks a woman from social services and Rosie. Danny received the letter, and it turns out he lives only a few hours away. When the agency reached out about a girl found wandering alone, his wife, a volunteer with the center, recognized Henry's name. Henry stares, stunned. Rosie runs to him and hugs him tightly. "I told them, you're my real family." Henry's life transforms. He reopens the shop with help from Danny and Rosie. The walls tick with warmth now. Not sorrow, Rosie is adopted by Danny and his wife, becoming Henry's granddaughter in every way that matters. The story ends with Rosie teaching Danny's daughter how to fix a clock, her small hands mirroring Henry's steady ones. Final narration. Some clocks are too broken to tick again, but others, they just need the right hands and the right heart to keep going.